Hi, today I'll be making some coconut rock. This is a very popular sweet from Sri Lanka. Since we have plenty of fresh coconut, it's very easy to get the ingredients. Starting off with 1 cup water and 2 cups of white sugar. You can even use brown sugar. Adding some rose essence. If you really like the almond flavor, you can even add the almond flavor instead of the rose. And adding a little bit of coloring, any preferred color, and a little bit of cardamoms to give a lovely flavor to our sugar syrup. You know the syrup is ready when you can pull a line like this, just one thread. That means the sugar syrup is ready for the coconut. I have half a big coconut scraped. See that when you're scraping, there are no big lumps and pieces, and you can scrape it as fine as possible. I get my mother-in-law's maid to do some scraping over the weekend and freeze it. No problem at all. You can even use the frozen coconut. Just make sure to defrost it first. After adding the coconut, combine it well and let it cook on a low flame until it forms a ball and leaves the side. Just keep stirring so that everything cooks evenly and nothing burns. Getting a tray ready, or you can even use a wooden board with a little bit of butter. You can see as you cook, the moisture has reduced and it's getting quite thicker and nearly ready. When it starts leaving the pan, then you know it's cooked and ready for the bowl. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of butter to give an added taste to this coconut rock. This is completely optional. Even if you don't add the butter, there won't be any difference in flavor or texture. Butter will make it a little softer, of course. You can see it has thickened and it's forming a ball and it's leaving the sides. Now it's time for the bowl. Take it off the fire, leave it in the same pan for a few minutes before you transfer it to a bowl, buttered dish or a bowl. Watch out, it's really hot. Make sure to spread it evenly as possible. The size of the coconut rock depends on how thick you want it and how big you want it. So if you want it thick, make sure to put it the way you want. I like it about half a centimeter thick. That's more than enough. Once it's done, I'm used to the heat, so I'm doing it with my hand. You can use a buttered piece of oil paper to do this and make sure everything is even and looks pretty to cut soon. Just leave it out so that it sets properly and it hardens. And before it hardens, we have to mark the squares or the shapes that you are going to cut the coconut rock to. Use a sharp knife and mark the squares at this stage, because later on when it hardens, we are going to cut it. It smells divine. It's very hard to resist until it sets completely. I'm cutting into smaller squares because it's quite sweet. So I don't want anybody to be eating too much of sweet. So this size was okay. Can't resist, as I said. So I'm tasting a small piece. It has to set. However, it's still yummy and a little gooey at the moment. In about 1.5 hours, it has set. If you want it to set faster, as soon as it goes, just keep it in the refrigerator for a little while. It sets very fast. And now coconut rock is ready to be cut. So you can cut the squares neatly and serve it immediately. It's a super yummy sweet and one of my favorite Sri Lankan sweets. Please try it and let me know how it goes. The problem will be so hard to resist. In fact, before I could cut the squares, as you can see, nearly quarter was demolished by my son. As you can see, I have cut it into small squares, not very tidy, but of course you can do it very tidily when you do it. For me, taste matters and looks matters very little, because these are super yummy. Everyone in your house are going to love you for making this. So please try it and let me know how it goes. Until I meet you next, bye for now and enjoy the Sri Lankan coconut trucks. In case you're wondering what are the flowers all about, well, I've got a bunch of flowers today and I thought I'll video it as close as possible so that you get to see some fresh flowers to make your day too. Enjoy the coconut truck. Until I meet you next in my next video, bye for now.